everybody doing this wonderful Monday morning? Hope everybody is doing well. I am doing just great. Good morning, Mr. Ed, Mr. Bill, Mr. B. Shady, Mr. Nick. Hope you gentlemen are doing well this morning. Morning, Christopher. Hope you're doing well. Morning, TC. So yeah, this week is going to be a great week. I can just feel it. There's something in the air. Tired, bored, neither, both, all the above. Yeah, it is kind of hard to tell sometimes. Morning, Mr. Pete. Hope you're doing well, sir. Morning, Michael. So, carried some random knives last night. In my front pocket, I picked that up. Morning, Michael. And in my back pocket, I carried my Devo chaser that I forgot I had. That was up on the wall behind me. And then in my back left pocket, of course, I had my Vespa. That's what I had in the pockets last night. Nothing real exciting. I had to train someone last night, so that was always fun. I did get some good pictures taken of my titanium clones yesterday, including this one where I had to get a ladder. And I did leave out a few, but there are quite a few bangers in here. Starting over here, and I think I counted, and there's 140 on the table. I did leave out a few. I forgot my Evil Eyes integral SNGs, and I forgot my two Hulk shortcut clones. And I don't have my Anthem at the moment. Because I loaned it out. But I forgot those two for sure. I did try to group them as best I could according to different kinds and styles. There's all my Shiros, Les Georges. All my Spydercos are across through here. They had to have at least one titanium side to be pictured in here. There's only a couple that have my Carta. I believe the Spy Maitu and the Duck SMKE. The Spy Maitu is right here. The Drunken had carbon fiber. And the Russian Dr. Death had carbon fiber on one side. And y'all know me, I like that flip side. Whoops, it's the wrong one. So the clip side shot of the Dr. Death over here. It is titanium. So is the Spy Maitu up here. And the duck looks the same on both sides. Pretty much all titanium. No, Nick, that's all of them. That's the duplicates. So there's a bunch of I did rebag everything and get a new case made. And I put I put a lot of them. I didn't put any I didn't put any duplicates back in the case. I kept them separate. No, I don't think any of them are aluminum. There might be one. Which one did you think was aluminum? But I did do a case of all my duplicates. So now I've got a case with all my rosies, all my duck and ducklings. And then on the other half is all of my proteans, all of my cedars, and all my wakas. No, they're titanium. Those cheap ones from the Breaker thumb stud are aluminum. The one I bought 10 of to give away, those are aluminum. But I didn't put that one out on the table. But anyway, I did a little bit of collection wrangling yesterday. So that was good. Now I need to make a spreadsheet that shows them all. Speaking of which, let's go over here to Firefox. So, Jufool released his version of the cedar last night. And it is prettier and has a milled blade. So it's got the step milling on the blades. And he picked some really cool patterns. A couple of, let me get these images a little bigger. Whoops. So yeah, you can see the milling patterns he picked. Pretty cool. And I like the step milling on the blades. And he looks like he did a little more with the swedge up here. So I'm hoping they turn out a little better than the Lemifshi ones. I did, of course, order 2, and I bet you can guess which 2 I ordered. I actually don't have that many with bright anos. I've got more plain Jane than anything. You can definitely see in that picture most everything except for and that was for sale. And and so is the arcade. Everything else is plain. I did anno that one, and I haven't changed the blue on those. I've got a few blue ones, but most everything I've got is plain Jane. All right, got the new cedars talked about. Let's see. I got a bunch of comments on my post. 82 so far. Somebody wants them to make this clone next. That is a beautiful knife, for sure. And that's what I was saying about Rob Johnson's knives, is he just does a super bright finish on most of them. And I think that helps make them what they are. That is another model of his, not the cedar. I can't think what that one's called. It is the Hemlock. So Rob Johnson, Hemlock. We have looked at it before. Looks like, yeah, I like the blade shape on that one a lot. Different blade finishes. See that? Yeah, the Cypress is awesome too. See what else we got going on here today. That's the new Jufull cedar. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell y'all, if y'all want one of those wee high fins, with the mod already done, the guy, I believe one of the guys we looked at either yesterday or the day before, is selling his modded one, or a modded one, with the blade hole already in it. Yeah, he said I had an AliExpress warehouse in my house. That was pretty funny. Yeah, I want a Veli. I still think they should do a Veli clone. Guy's asking too much for this knife, though. $380. Mod cost was $120. Let's go look at the Hog House Knives. We haven't been over there in a while. See what he's got available. No products found. There's the Veli Model T Gen 2. Sorry, I'm trying to do something here. Model T is Severs type knife. It's funny, I can tell that Sever, of course, I don't blame anybody, but doesn't have time to watch all the video. So he'll post links in the Discord chat to knives he likes, and there'll be like a couple of days after I just said that looks like a Sever knife. He did it again yesterday. He posted a link to a knife that I showed a couple of days ago in a video and said that he would probably like it. And I was right, because he posted a link to it. And it was that, let me see if I can find which one it was. Yeah, it was the new giant mouse that we looked at the other day. So when we looked at this one, I said that looks like a Sever type knife. And he posted a link to it. Dang, Ed. What's going on with your power? Somebody hit a transformer or something? But yeah, he posted a link to that knife that we looked at a couple of days ago. I like when I nail people's stuff that they like. So he's only got those 3 models available right now that he's making, I guess. Or they, whoever he or they is. I am not familiar with the business that is Hog House Knives. Somewhere else we need to go look at that we hadn't looked at in a minute is Polish Custom Knives. Have not been over here in a minute. Might as well look at some Grail stuff today. New coatings from Auricolon. I don't know how to say that name. What do we got here? Three outstanding coatings from Orlikon. Ballynet A, Ballynet Mayura, and Ballynet Triton Star. Okay, I'd like to know what all that is. I would like to learn something today. Let's go check this out, see if we can learn something. It said something about titanium. Few thousandths of a millimeter thick, but harder than steel. Thin film coatings are extremely wear resistant as well as chemically inert. Oh, okay. Different color ranges. Let's see. Huh. I didn't even know these coatings or this company existed. DLC Star. Ballynet Hard Carbon. Triton. Carbon coating with unusually dense structure. Here's the Mayura. Wow. This is high-tech coatings. This is the Mayura. Next generation of carbon-based coatings. Let's see what it says here. So it's harder than steel, so it will keep edges on drill bits and stuff That's wild. That's pretty crazy. Carbon-based coatings for non-ferrous materials. Huh. All right. So Herman's got some new coatings. Large radius hollow grind. Oh, wow. So that's pretty cool. That means they can do a hollow that goes off the edge of the blade. Wow, that's pretty neat. Yeah, those blades look cool. What other news we got here? Magic of Laser. 3V. All right. So let's go up here to folding. Yep, they're really taking the laser thing to the next level. Love that milling pattern. I love a subtle milling pattern. Number 0798. All right then. I like the looks of the B also. Man, super sexy knives. 0222. Very nice, very nice. See what else we got. We'll go a couple more pages before we. Vespertilio. The Vespertilio. Mantis. I still want a Sting at some point. I think the Sting is on my bucket list. Wondering if we had any Stings. Or am I going to have to find... I guess I'm going to have to find a secondhand Sting. Herman Sting knife. Oh, there's one. Good old plain Jane-ish looking one too. Yeah, I think I want a Sting. I don't know why, because I guess maybe it's more of an inexpensive Herman that I could actually afford. Don't know why I want one. I kind of... Yeah, TC's got a couple of Hermans, I believe. Not actually sure how many. Oh, he's got at least one. I gave him one, I think. There's Nick Shabazz again. That's
Hey
funny.
Everybody, Nick here, and today I got a review for you.
Synchronicity
This
is
interesting
wild.
little knife right here. This is the Herman Knives Sting. So, first off, though, in the name of full disclosure, I want to thank Polish Custom Knives for sending this little guy along. They are, if not the only retailer of Herman Knives, the main one, certainly to the States. And they also sell a bunch of other custom knives, generally by Polish makers. But nevertheless, they reached out to me, said, "Hey, Nick, I think you should check one of these guys out. They're really good." And I told him, as always, I'm going to talk about the good, the great, the bad, the ugly. It might be a gem, it might be junk. They still sent it along. We have to assume, though, that this is the very best quality controlled one of these guys ever. And also that I'm doing my best not to let this affect the quality of my review here. I also want to thank my buddy Tony Meader, who's another Blade enthusiast. He's kind of nuts. I met him at Blade Show. It's nuts in a great way. But he actually reached out to me sometime back and said, "Nick, you need to check out Herman Knives. They're doing
Let me jump over here so
they're doing really good work," and indeed, yeah, they are. But it always makes it a lot easier if there's, especially.
I want to see a size
And
comparison.
here it is against your Delica,
here we go.
an Ontario Rat number 2 here. And then here it is against your Spyderco PM2. So you can see here that although in terms of sharpened blade length, we're very similar to the PM2.
It's bigger than it
we
looks.
are coming in just around 3.5 inches, a little bit, well, okay, not even there. We're like 3.3 or something like that inches. Nevertheless, it's a bigger knife, but it's actually not all that practically big in the pocket here. If we compare this to the Spyderco Delica when closed, this guy compacts down to a relatively small size. So we can see, put this on the Delica, this is not so much bigger in any meaningful way than it. So it's a very nice size, actually, for carry. Then finally, what the heck is a Herman Knives? Well, this is actually one guy named Bartosz Herman. I'm sorry about mispronouncing your name there. But he is a custom maker out of Poland. He uses CNC, as is probably pretty apparent to you at this point. But they are custom-ish, but he has models that he makes over and over again. And this Sting model is one of those models. So anyways, let's go on ahead and talk about the good, the great, the bad, the ugly of this very interesting little knife right here. So the good side. This is the Sting, so it may or may not glow to indicate orcs. It hasn't glowed yet, but I've also not seen any orcs yet, so, I'm not actually sure. I'll let you give engagement.
Lord of the Rings
reference
reference.
Is very light, so it works very, very well. I'm a big fan of the lock bar access here. It's very easy and pleasurable to unlock.
I love the
which
clip,
is kind of a strange thing to say
cut out
about a knife,
around
but
the
hey,
clip.
there you go. Not really anything else. It's just the back.
But anyway,
Drop shuttiest of drop shutty actions, but it is very, very good. It is easily in the 98th percentile of your various drop shuttitudes out there. It's good. It's real freaking good. The action on this guy is very nice, and it's doing this detent. It's doing this easy deployment using a relatively light lock bar tension, so it's very easy to unlock. There's just no freaking problem there. I just like that a lot. This is just a really, really nice action. So to me, all of that is the good. It's this awesome action. It's got lots of really nice design details here that just make the knife feel... It's
all right,
subtle,
let's hear the
but
bad.
very easy lock. So far, it's been 100% accurate. On the great side, this has a great blade. Straight abrupt.
Great side.
If you look at really freaking some flat, you've got some... Damn day I carry this. Every time I take it out, this is good. This is real good. And so I just like this blade so damn much. This is... That's what's great here, is the blade is... It's $540 shipped to the U.S., $590 within the EU with the VAT, value-added tax, I think that means. That's a good chunk of change. But the thing is, looking at some of the other custom stuff out there, that's in line, right? I mean, looking at what they've done here, it's absolute bunch of people. Now, one of the design features I like least about this is that the flipper tab is a little bit hooky. What I mean by that is that you've got kind of a sharp corner at the front there, and that is not super comfortable on the finger. This is not a knife that's super pleasurable to just go back and forth with all damn day. It works, I do it, but I would kind of like to see a smoother flipper tab, something more akin to this. These are Pena Knives Diesel, by the way, rather than this kind of hooked forward thing. Whatever, not a big deal. Next thing, as you can probably see here, this has a proprietary pivot tool, or a proprietary pivot. I don't love that, ever. I mean, they include a tool here, and it works just fine. You saw me use it during the disassembly. But as I've always said, using a proprietary pivot and then including the tool is like kicking me in the nuts and then handing me an ice pack. It's a very kind thing of you to do, but why did you do it to start with? The other downside to this particular approach is that this tool is sideways mounted. So what you'll do is you'll kind of get this such that it fits into the proper slot here, and then you have to rotate it on this axis, as opposed to if the pivot tool were, for instance, given to you in the form of a bit where you could just put it in there and do that. That would just be more convenient. So the thing I probably like least about this knife, personally, although, you know, there were other issues, but, you know, it does bug me, at least directly into the titanium on the other side of the scale here. Is this a huge problem?
I don't know how I like that either.
So there you go. Next thing, this guy has screws that go into directly into the titanium on the other side of the scale.
I like it kind of for the look.
Is this a huge problem? No, but it's never something I particularly like to see, because, for instance, if you do strip out these threads, there's not a whole lot that can be done for you. As opposed to if it's a Chicago style screw, that's going to be much easier to replace. I've never actually had a problem with this, but it always scares me just a little tiny bit. But you can definitely hear the...
Yeah, I like hearing that.
But I can definitely, and if you have big hands, I can see this little area being a little bit of a hot spot. I like the clip enough for carry that I'm willing to forgive it, but it's definitely a hot spot there. And then finally, availability is a problem because there just aren't that many of them available. It's a, you know, one guy made CNC custom knife. I mean, he seems to have some available, and I'm going to do my best to...
I want to hear what he said about
the knife is very good, except there is a little bit of something. You feel the clip digging into your hand a little bit. It's kind of worse right here, and this could be very hand specific. If you choke back a little bit further, it's not as much of an issue. But I can definitely, and if you have big hands, I can see this little area being a little bit of a hot spot. I like the clip enough for carry that I'm willing to forgive it, but it's definitely a classiest freaking way to do that ever. So no big complaint there. It is using a proprietary pivot, but he gives you the tool, but the process here. The reason for it, I mean, there were a bunch of exam in knife disassembly.
See what he closes.
But final conclusion, look, at some level, this knife has a lot of things that bug me. It's got a pocket pecker with a bit of a hook. It's using a proprietary pivot with a tool included, at least, but still, proprietary pivot. It screws straight through the scale, and a disassembly process that was not amazing, and the price is going to sting a little bit, because, yeah, it's definitely up there. But at the same time, this does a lot of things great. It has a great design. It's just a very classy-looking knife, to my estimation.
Yeah,
it has a really great
like the
clip.
clean
It has
lines.
lots of little details here that just bring me a lot of joy. An awesome action, and a really, truly excellent blade. I like this blade a lot. Actually carrying it, actually using it, the blade is freaking great. And it's just a very subtle knife at some level. You know, you take this guy out, and I don't necessarily mean it, it's gonna be a little scary to some people, but this is not a knife that you take it out, for instance, you know, for another knife person, and show it to them, and they're like, ooh, immediately. But then they start to handle it, and when you look closer, it's like, oh, that's well done. Then you look closer. Oh, that's good. Oh, yeah. And then you got the little cutout right here, so your finger lands on an easy spot when you do the flip. And just like, oh, and then look at that. And then, oh, that's perfectly flush here. As you look closer at this, it gets better. And that's a really good sign for a custom knife. It's not flashy. It's not showy. It's not over the top. It's not coated in moku dye or anything like that. It's just a good, really basic knife. But
yeah, I like Nick's
when you
attitude.
look closely, all the details are there. You've got this subtle anodization on here, which, by the way, I didn't really mention, but this subtle bronze over gray thing, it's magnificent. And so when you look closely, the details are there and they're accounted for, and there's really nothing disassembly process aside which I can point to and say that is wrong. That is incorrect. You screwed this up. I mean, maybe the lock stick could be done, but again, it's not at the level where it actually really bugs me. So I really did appreciate that, and it's got a charm to it. What I mean by that is that I carried this knife for review. Obviously, of course I'm going to carry it for review. And then I got to the point where I felt like I was okay with it, but then I kept carrying it, and I found myself carrying it and making excuses. Like, well, I don't know, I have to get a better sense of the lock bar tension. Oh, well, I'm going to be doing a lot of box breakdown at work today, so I better bring the Herman just to make sure it's looking okay. You know, the kinds of total BS that I sell myself when I'm trying to keep carrying a knife. And I came to the conclusion ultimately that it's not that I wasn't ready to review the knife, it's that I didn't want to stop carrying it. Because when I'm reviewing things, I have this easy license to carry something, whereas otherwise it's like, oh, I could be carrying for something for review. But I just like this. And from this process here, I just eventually realized that I just like the damn knife. That's why it took me forever. I wasn't...
All right. That's a great conclusion. Yeah, I love his attitude. I love how he assumes that they're going to send him the best versions they can because they know he's going to talk about it. And I like how he's honest about everything. Um, some people, everything's great about every knife, and I don't like that. I like the fact that regardless of what he didn't like about it, he really thinks it's a great knife. So yeah, that was cool to see. Let's go back here. Whoops. And go back to the actual Herman. Uh, there was one more. Yeah, the Ishtar is a nice looking knife. Oh, there's some stings. Wasn't even paying attention on the first page here. And that Mantis has really been speaking to me here lately. There's a sting with Damasteel. Yeah, there are just some nice subtle touches. That one's a little more flashy though. Alright. What else y'all want to look at this morning? I'm going to go back while y'all give me something to talk about. See if anything else pops out at me from any of the other pages. That's a pretty... It's one of those wild price ones. Is that... Oh, that's the new... Yeah, okay, that's the new...
Are the locks on OTF knives actually strong? Good question. This is the Max Ace Neptune. This is the Max Ace Draco. This is the EMP EDC Pulse. Might be kind of tricky, probably this way. This is the Guardian Tactical Recon 35 Gen 1.
I love Guardian Tactical.
The EMP keeps falling out of the 2x4 when I stab the other one, so I'm just going to lay this one down. But rest assured, it does stick. Like, it's not... The lock is totally fine. This is the Paragon Para X single action. This is the Microtech Dirac Delta. This is the Microtech Combat Troodon. This is the Microtech Scarab 2. This is the Microtech Glycon. How about the new Winter Blade Code Darkfire prototype? Let's try that one.
Yeah, that's going to be a wild knife.
And finally, the Hawk Deadlock Model C. Of course.
Did y'all notice how careful he was with the Hawk? That's pretty wild. Like, watch how, like, the $3,000 knife,
C. Of course.
Like, he just barely kind of poked in there.
Microtech Glycon. How about the new Winter Blade Code Darkfire prototype? Let's try that one.
You hit that one pretty hard.
And finally, the Hawk Deadlock Model C. Of course.
Yeah. That's pretty funny. All right, what else we got here? Somebody was asking about WE Knives, Damasteel. All right, show fewer posts like this, please. Don't need that to pop up on my stupid YouTube feed. Oh yeah, these will be out. These are out for delivery today. I'm getting a bunch of knives today. They seem to have piled up last week. I think I'll get 4 or 5 new ones today. Knife Porn has some awesome pictures of guys' collections that are sick. Oh, is that the set? Okay. I wouldn't have hit it very hard either. It didn't need much to stick in, so... Yeah, Knife Porn is a great subreddit with some awesome pictures. See what else we got. Somebody needs to fix their buck. Oh yeah, y'all got to talking about bucks either yesterday or the day before. What bucks do y'all recommend? Gen X vibes. Okay, thank you. Thank you for the vibes this morning. Gotta be careful on Reddit. They have I believe somebody told me they have actual prawn on Reddit. I did not know they had that. Guardian Tactical has a feel like no other OTF. My sister has one, and it is the smoothest. Oh, this bear in the background had finally had enough of mistreatment and was not having it no more. So he attacked his trainer, and I don't blame him. They treat those animals terrible in those parks in China. But that bear was not having it no more. I saw that yesterday. There's a brazen. A lot of people are liking that knife, including Pete, I believe. Adept Knives, 20% off. Got some fake Air Max from GX Factory. Some good ones, but fakes nonetheless. They're pretty wild looking shoes. Yeah, they have a patented little system with their switch. Rolls, just like Nick just said, it rolls on ball bearings. There is a Dawn, so I need to get a Dawn to go with my Rain. See what else we got going on here. A skinny mod completely transforms a PM2. It turns it into a sever knife. That one still has plenty of a hump. And I don't know, I still just can't get past the hump sometimes. Oh, this was a cool mod. So you can buy the flattening stones for your sharpening stones that have a handle built in. And they're a lot more expensive than just the plain version of the stone. So a guy figured out this mod where you can buy a €3 adhesive handle and stick it onto your stone with a 3M sticker, and then have your stone to where your flattening stone to where it's got a handle on it without paying for the extra one of. No, I did not buy one of those cornerstones, but I wish I would have. Yeah, from Numb Knife Works. I didn't order one, but I should have. I guess I'll say that twice. It's a little more than I want to pay at the moment. I should have got that one though for $350. I'll find one on the secondary market. There'll be a lot of people that buy it for the gimmick of the lock and then want to get rid of it. I think I might have already added it to my knife swap alert list. So as soon as it comes in, I should start getting some pings every now and then. I hadn't added it, but now I have. Yeah, we watched a video on it right here from Knives, and he said a couple of, oh yeah, he hit the button and it, whenever he tightened up on cutting stuff, right here, let me show you what happened.
Well, it came with an okay edge, not the sharpest edge in the world, but it's okay. It's a good factory edge. I'll say that. Good.
So watch what happens.
Factory edge. Now, the lock when cutting. You know what? I'll wait. I'll wait for that. The clip is, you know, it's functional. It does work.
Here, let me show you.
That's some thick stuff. Ooh, it just disengaged on me. Ooh, it disengaged on me. Whoopsie. All right. Oh, fuck it.
Yeah, it disengages
Now that I know that, though.
because of where the buttons hit on your hand.
I mean, I was really cramming it through some stuff, though. So, in a choke up. So when I choke up, and I'm going to show you exactly why this happens. Now, I have large hands. It might be this shape with my hand, but when I wrap around and I choke up just like this, my middle finger happens to land right there, and then my bone, like right there, happens to land on that. And if I pinch it, it will absolutely disengage. So it's something that happened to me really quickly, like briefly, like I caught it because my finger, you know, kind of catches it. So it didn't hurt me or anything. It was fine, but it is very, like it happens every time I squeeze it right there. To be fair, typically I'm like this. Typically I don't really choke up like that, but I guess I can't really say that because it happened to me when I was doing it. So maybe I do it more than I think, but typically I'm like this, you know what I mean? And typically you're not gonna hit this side. I might hit this side, but not this side. Now, why doesn't it happen with a button lock? So like this is an auto, obviously, but same concept. When I'm choked up with this one all the way like this, look at where the button lands. The button lands in front of my pointer finger, which can almost never reach the button unless if I reach all the way over like that, and that's not how I do it. I choke like this. So if I just naturally grip this knife all the way up, my fingers don't hit the button and it's recessed in. This one, and also there's nothing on this side for me to hit. So with this one, it just so happens my middle finger's right there. Now, of course, I can avoid it. I know that about the knife, so I just won't do that, right?
So that's a good point too. So just like he said, now that he knows that, he can avoid it.
On this side for me to hit. So
yeah,
with the knife, so I just won't do that, right? Like somebody, you know, somebody used to say, just don't do that. Just don't do that and you'll be all right. And I won't do that. So
yeah, so that's the only thing I thought about it. Answer your let's see what we got here.
The Neve Knife Co. Shiv. This is a collaboration between
I saw that one yesterday.
And Wax Wing. Wax Wing is a
I
custom
didn't
knife
like
maker out of the USA. He hand makes knives, and I designed a small fixed blade design, and he created them. So he's made all of these beautiful knives. And then I sharpened every single one of these with the same stones, all the way to the same grit, between 14.5 to about 16.5 degrees per side. So all of them have very, very similar edges. They're all mirror edges. They have a lot of bite, so they do still have the, you know, some nice micro serrations in there. So beautiful edges. Some of the most useful edges.
The handle's way too tiny.
Steel. About 61.5 to 62 HRC.
Good morning, Cat Scratch.
Very happy with it, man. This is a beautiful, beautiful knife design. It has a harpoon Warncliffe blade with a hollowed out harpoon.
I don't mind the blade shape at all.
The hollow harpoon stops short of the tip, allowing the tip to have a little bit more stability. Very thinly ground. The handle material is a natural micarta. The sheath is a Kydex sheath. These are going to come incredibly sharp. These are all hair whittling sharp. And again, full flat ground. We have our logo on there with the fingerprint.
I mean, there's some pretty cool touches to that knife. I like that finish. I like the logo. I like the sharpening choil. I like how I don't know if y'all can see that, but he showed right out here at the tip. He stopped the hollow grind so that it could be thicker by the tip there. And that's pretty cool.
All of them sharpened up incredibly well. No problems with burr problems or anything like that. You know, after technically they didn't talk a little bit more in depth about all the sharpening and everything else, but very, very impressive, extremely sharp. Like I said, they're all hair whittling and made in the USA, handmade by Wax Wing. Shout out to Wax Wing for doing this collaboration with us.
I mean, I'm sure a lot of people will like that little knife. I'm just saying, for me personally, I don't think I love all little touches and details and stuff going on. So Cat Scratch loves his numb in one. That's good to hear. Let's see. But I want to know what that Atoma with the handle. Let's see. Atoma 140. Let's see, the one with the handle. I guess I could type in handle. Whoops. With handle. So it's only $35 more for the handle. But still, a $3 handle is just as easy, and you can put that on any stone. So that's a cool little mod that you can put on any stone to help you flatten your other stones. So a lot of people use this stone to flatten their other ones. Yeah, that's a cool little mod. I like it. New Cosmos Edition, Open-L. That's pretty different. Let's see what else we got. Grinder belt tensioner with magnets. Somebody said using this same. That's a pretty good idea for a belt tensioner. Colin Furs is awesome. I like Colin. He's right down my alley. Bayonet pry bar. Gonzo and Sanrinmu. First time engraving. Pretty sweet deal. What did he... Oh, that's a data guy. For y'all plane guys, there's you some planes. Alright, what else we got here? Well, that's a nice collection. Yeah, some of these knife porn pictures, they really are. TC? What do you think of that one? That purple one? Y'all wouldn't mind smashing the like button for me. It'll help the algorithm. I would appreciate it. Yep. Those are some beauties. They're all real, so y'all don't have to worry. You're allowed to like them. Even you, Be Shady. Although they do make all these now in clones, so I might anodize one a really nice purple and take some pictures of it. There's a knife guy's knives. He's got some Kershaws we were talking about. Got him a Concept, a Benchmade, a Sin Cut, a Kaiser, and a one of those ones from Harbor Freight. No, I don't know. Is that the Harbor Freight knife? I think that is the Harbor Freight knife. That is a good collection, except for the pink bug out. For just a regular, everyday knife user guy. Looks like Nick's got us a link to look at. I like that a lot from the first. Well, Nick, you baited me in. Like, you knew I would like that knife, Nick. It's a giant titanium knife. But it does have a black blade, so I'll give you that. You didn't just toss me up a slow pitch home run ball. But yes, I like it. I want to go to Crescent Edge and follow them now. Good morning, Cliff. Yeah, that was almost like a T-ball. Throwing up a T-ball pitch for me. Love that blade shape. Love the fuller or blade, whatever, cutout. Like the forward choil with the sharp. I like all that. Some people won't like that sharpening choil, but they don't bother me when they're like that. Yep. So now we need to search. We need to go to crescentedges.com and check them out. And here we go. Coming soon. Plain blade, plain titanium. $365. Great price. Coming $12.19. We're going to have to bookmark that one. Nice find, Nick. Yeah, compound ground too. That's a pretty sick knife. I even like that coating, that working finish on that one. Let's go. Do they have another one without that finish? I'm sure they do. What do we got? Let's check this one out. This one has a nice, man, that is some nice lines on that felt satin. I like that two-tone. These are some nice looking knives, Nick. Same video from all of them. Who OEMs them? Riot? It's got to be a Riot. This is the top of the line Riot, I bet you. Limit 1. I wish I knew. Let's see. It doesn't say who the OEM is. What are y'all guessing? Riot? Yep. Let's check out this last one with the two-tone, but the middle, I think I might like this one the best. I don't even mind that dark because it matches the... Oh, it said it on their Instagram? All right. Thank you, sir. I didn't pay attention. Why is it not? Oh. That's a different model. Let's see. Oh, I'm supposed to hit the heart so that I can go back to... Okay, y'all got to remind me to start liking stuff. Not many comments. I would expect way more comments about this knife. Somebody's got to ask him who the OEM is somewhere. It'll probably be in one of the first posts he puts up about it. And I'm not seeing them down here. I like that other blade shape on whatever that knife is too. This one right here. I like that clip point. Don't like the guy showing it too much. I don't know why. He just kind of rubs me the wrong way. But that's all right. Yeah, that was a good find there, Nick. Oh. Duh. Says it right up there. It's on the top of every post. Not just their post, but actually at the top. Our buddy Cal is following them. Good morning, Mr. Bob. Hope you're doing well, sir. See what else we got going on. Show fewer like this. Stop showing me stuff. Why do they push that on you so? I don't look at it on Reddit, so like, why would they suggest it? Look at it pretty much, period. Not like seeking it out. It's not hard to see it, regardless of whether you seek it out or not, but they're just really pushing stuff this morning. Sex sells. That's a pretty knife. Nice dice down there. Some Versace fragrance. I have 100 knives and all of them are dull. See what else we got. Wow. Oh yeah. I ordered a ZT 0203 to check out because I want to know how that lock works. It's their Duralock. It's kind of like it's like a working version of the MSI lock, the RAM lock that goes all the way to the front. So I ordered one of those, a fake one, but it should give me some kind of feel for how it functions. Oh yeah, I totally understand, but doesn't mean I have about the why we see it. But I mean, I kind of understand because just they show it to everybody if you're in a certain demographic. So dialed in, man. I like when my knives are dialed in. But old ProTech. Malibu really is a nice knife. Another Kershaw pops up today. Let's see what we got going on this sale here. $95 for a Bel Air. $95 for a Native 5 Salt. $275 for a MSI RAM lock. Scarab 2, 400, small and cozy, 310. Another small and cozy, and Singo, 425. All right. I saw a Bradford last night in a knife swap post. And I'd been mentioning how I wanted to get one. I almost went in and made an offer, but I didn't. I've still got to get a Miguron Kirk's 2. Carrick's 2. I've still got to find one of these sometime. I don't see the titanium one, which is the one I want. I don't think they're not for sale anymore, so I've got to find one secondhand. But it looks a lot like, that's the one with the gold carbon fiber. Very pretty knife though, and it is one that I don't have that I need to get. Yeah, I don't know. That seeing that made me think about it. There's Sippy the dog. What else we got? Uh, Weird Science. What is going on there? Oh, that's one of those. I got one of those kind of sharpeners with the dual side, put the knife in the middle thing. Yeah, Apostle P has those videos where he sells stuff. I've never watched one. I've wondered what the prices will be like, if they're decent. But Nick, you always say a little bit higher price than I do is decent. Or is a great price. Sometimes when I don't think it's really a great price, I think it's a okay price. So our prices are a little different on what we consider great. I know you buy so many new knives that anything below new cost seems like a great deal. But I buy lots of new knives that have just been handed around to a couple of people that have never used them and get them for a lot less. So I kind of know what's possible. I've been spoiled with finding great brand new unused knives for 60%, 70% of original cost. But I'm sure Apostle P sounds like a great guy, and I'm sure he's got decent deals. This is a little $35 knife that's the Kaiser Seagull is on sale. I meant to show y'all that yesterday before he even mentioned it on Amazon. It was 44% off. So yeah, you can get it for $35. And it's normally 64. That's a nice little smaller knife that is comfortable. Giant front flipper. Decent little back. The rear flipper, the angle on it's going to be good. It's up above the pivot. It'll be real snappy. Yeah, I'm sure his prices are fair. That's a good word for it. I like the micarta version. The Rich Light's pretty nice too. And like I said, I'm a fan of real Sandvik 14C 28N blade steel. I got no problem with that at all. I would rather have it 9 times out of 10 more than D2. All right, what else we got here? I saw a couple more things that were on sale. Let's see what.
All right.
See what he says about.
I'm going to demonstrate the lock bar stick issue.
I'd like to see this because the one I got was pretty garbage.
See how that bar is only coming out so far. That is because...
So he said there's some movement when you tighten the
this
two
bar
screws.
has wiggle room.
That you can wiggle it side to side.
Backwards, left, and right directions.
So you got to line it up where it hits
And
the
my
hole
camera
good.
won't stay fucking focused, so it's making this. It's
So he
running
says-
into the frame when it's trying to spring up. Now you don't got to take your screws out all the way. Just loosen them a little bit. And work this bar just until you have clearance.
Yeah, so it's rubbing against the sides
Full
if you don't
clearance.
screw it in at the right place.
You don't want to feel that bar run into anything or touch anything at all. Okay? Then you tighten that bar down.
That's not good that it
Don't
moves
go
that much.
gorilla on it. You don't want to strip those threads in the scale, or else you're fucking boned, bud. Just that the lock bar placement is.
Yeah, so the fact that it moves back and forth. And there's what I was talking about the pins being in the side of the scale. So when the guy anodized it, he couldn't get those pieces of metal out of there. So he had to anodize it with metal in there.
That, but mine are Loctited in.
And that's the ones he didn't glue in right.
At pretty much the minimum setting.
Yeah, so
Just that. You will feel
so they interface, they go through the blade
rubbing.
instead of being in the blade. So you can see back there that the blade has a hole all the way through it. So they go through the blade and interface with the other side of the scales and the blade instead of being in the blade. And he got it dialed in to where it's pretty good. I mean, he has great action on his. So,
And then tighten it back to that one out myself.
but anyway, thought that was interesting. I like seeing mod stuff and how to fix problems, but it shouldn't have that much wiggle room. The countersunk places on the metal should be lined up to where they, when they tighten them down, it'll only go one place. What happened, Michael? Who insulted who? Oh, Michael said his definition was what or most people consider near mint. I did not get a Banker Lock Raccoon because they were overpriced, but I will have one. Yeah, I figured out who you were talking about, Michael. He insulted you for asking him what his definition of near mint was? Well, that's no good. That's not cool. Another blonde, yay. Protean screw set, Zerblasted high voltage purple. So there's the screw sets that the guy that hopped on. Oh no, that's another guy. I thought that was Background Dare, whatever his name is, that hopped on, showed us his anodizing. Budget blade collection. Some growths on the back of a turtle. Little tiny CNC. Is that? Oh, that's a late. That's a CNC. Gotta be. No, it's a laser. Just a modified laser, huh? The 3D printed scalpel. Oh, what do we got here? A 15V Shaman, a little bit overpriced. Why it's still sitting there, $350. 10V one sold. The picture's gone. And the Get On. Wow, he sold a Get On for $225. A good price. There's the Segundo number 29. That's funny. There's that Lemifshi clone. That's a different version, different number. Somebody asked me with my picture yesterday what my favorite one out of all of them is. And I almost answered with the answer of the Lemifshi, that one right there. I almost gave them that answer as my favorite. So, but it's probably not my favorite. But those two in the middle there, those two mass cast precision clones, were the first two that they used the cage bearings on, and they have some of the best action of any knife I own. But that's just a different model version of the same knife. Check out the price on it. $250 at $10. So $2,500 total for that knife. And it looks almost exactly like that knife with a different milled handle. That one was $80, $90. Yeah, Mitchell, that's how it means to me too. Yeah, I love my I about made a mess. I love my Get On. I mean, that's a cool knife. Yeah, that was knife raffle, Michael. You can reverse flick this thing easy. Of course, you can just use your wrist and open it with no kind of nothing. But this one looks the most like the Alpha Beast from Migron. I prefer the blade shape on the Arma XL. I'm gonna cut myself if I'm not careful. I prefer the blade shape on the Arma XL, but not really. I mean, I don't know. I love the compound grind. I just wish it had something else going on up here. I don't like that clip point as much as the Arma XL. And they're real close to the same size. Definitely beefy knives. This one looks a lot like that clone that I was talking about, let me show you what the blade shape on that one looks a lot like. So, right here, down here at the bottom, right there, whoops. It reminds me of this one a lot, except this one, the blade is a little shorter. And that was the first knife I ever modded. But that one, that blade shape kind of reminds me of this blade shape. The overall look of the knife is a little curvier, but that's a big boy too. I mean, that's a big knife. I should go grab it. But compare it, but I don't feel like it. I put my cases in the other room right now. So I can't really get to any of my cases. I can, but the car is kind of in the way. But then you got the Mac Daddy of them all over here, the Omega. Dun dun dun, an inch thick. And that's just crazy overbuilt. Kind of ridiculous. But cool nonetheless. Not practical at all. Can't help but have guillotine action because of how thick the blade is. I mean, look at my finger. Like, I literally can put other knives in the middle of this thing. I forgot which knife I carried the night I carried it, but it fit right inside. It fit in here. Another knife. Here's a TRM Atom clone that almost fits in there. Yeah. Yeah, I wish the Get-On had a blade shape like this. These were all made by Sam, like designed by Sam. So that's pretty cool too, that all these big knives from Migron were all designed by the guy that owns the company. And the same guy that used to make a bunch of clones. Samir. Yep. Mitchell, bigger than your handgun, huh? Alright. Yeah, complete. I can't ever get in on one of these knife raffles. And you have to get started on them before they'll, let you get in good. You have to, I don't know. It's one of those weird things. But they have some awesome knives. I do want to try it. I want to spend $200 or $300 here until I get one and then see how much it costs me to get a knife. But I'm only going to do ones like this where it's a $2,000 knife like this one. Something crazy. Because why not get a crazy knife? And if I spend $500 and get a $2,000 knife or spend $900, I just want to see how much it costs until I actually win one. My buddy's done really good with them. He's gotten about $6,000 worth of knives for about $3,000. So he got them for about half price. When you're talking grails, why not get your grails for half price? He only buys ones that he wants as a grail, though. Like, I wouldn't bid on that one because I don't want that knife. Whatever that was I just looked at. But they do have some, you can find your grail in here. That's funny. Somebody auctioned off a Asher Spyro for $70. I didn't know they went that low. I guess there's a Kaiser Era for $100. So you can get that. You could have got that for $1. Somebody got that for $1. Pretty cool though. Somebody probably bought $3 worth of spots and got that Kaiser Era for $3. That's what I need to start off doing, is some of these dollar ones. And then move up. Oh, here's another mass cast, number 32. That's a whole different one with a different pattern. That one's got holes on it. Another $2,500 knife. $10 a slot. So you could buy 10 slots for $100. Get that knife. Get lucky. Get it for $100. Wow. $3,500 for this one. Full dress chamois. Pretty wild. Knife Raffle's a cool place though. There's an Avere for $150. The prices are very fair on what they say too. They have to show comparable. Here's the price justifications. So they have to show where they sold on Knife Swap for that same price. They can't just mark up the price. Been a while, but all these ones we've looked at have been in the last 9 days. So there's quite a few happening every day. Well, all right then. What else are we going to look at today? After seeing that guy carrying his duck to the park with his dog behind him, makes me want to carry one of my ducks today. I think I might carry one of these ducklings in my back pocket. I think I might carry this one. You see what the action's like on it. Alright. Got to shake it a little more than I like. Let me see what this one's talking about. That one's better, but still not great. Still got to shake it a little more than I want. I could oil them up. I probably haven't oiled them. Good grief. Got to check the Skelly one out. It's probably got the best action. No, luckily it doesn't. It's about the same as that one. This one has the best action out of the three. All right, so that one's going in the back pocket. What's going in the front pocket today? Oh, that's nice. Yeah, that's really nice. You got any blade play? Nope. Yeah, that's very nice. All right. I think I'll carry those two today. Not a bad pocket check. Rosie XL and a M390 duckling. I need to go through and oil up some knives, because I bet if I put some oil on this lock bar, this one would drop shut. Let me see what we got here. Let me just put a little oil on the detent ball and on the track. See what we're talking about. All right, there's the detent ball. Got some Earl on it. Flip the knife over. So I put it on with the knife like this, and then I flip the oil over so that it rides on the top of the blade. And man, I can already tell it's going to be just like I needed. That will fix action on knives more than you realize. That detent ball gets dried out because it rubs constantly. Let me get it worked in. Oh yeah, it's getting there for sure. All right, I like it. But the Rosie had way better action. Much bigger blade, but all right. I'm good with it. Oh, that's awesome. I mean, except for getting the icing on it. That was super cool being able to cut up a cake with the Padre. Yeah, these knives are super nice. It actually fits pretty good in my hand too. I can see why people like the ducklings and the ducks. And this one, of course, just feels like a big hoss. And that one just drops shut. Yeah, I've caught myself cutting some food at work, like biscuits. I had to cut biscuits one night, and I got a little bit of bread in my around the pivot area, and I was like, dang it. So I had to take it apart and clean it, but getting food on your knives is alright. Means you're using them. But that's cool, a birthday party. What do we need to look at to finish up the stream today? It's got to be something cool we hadn't seen. Oh, I know. Let's go over to Kickstarter and see if we just type in titanium knife, we get any new hits. So I evidently ordered a knife that I'm not sure I ordered. I put knife. What in the world? I ordered another Kickstarter knife that I didn't know about. And I'm not convinced that I actually ordered it. I think they might be sending me one because I ordered their first knife. And it's kind of weird to me. What is the Stellar? Star tie handle with S35. What is this knife? Why does it look familiar? And they got one without the crazy thumb stud. That top one up there, I mean, it's not a crazy thumb stud, but yeah, they got this version right here. Looks pretty comfortable. Forvix. What is Forvix? That's awesome. Yeah, I like the top one up there. Launching soon. Notify me on launch. Oh, front flipper and everything. I have to get rid of that flipper tab. That's a knife that definitely doesn't need a flipper tab. I got the crystal tie one. I didn't even pay attention that those are crystal tie. So, Voyage Blade Works. The people that made that $70 made in the USA fixed blade that I bought, and I can't type. So I bought the Outland for $70 or whatever it was. I got the super early bird special, so it was only $70. But they're sending me their newest knife, which is something else that starts with the A. It's the Avius. So for some reason, I've got shipping this knife. They're shipping me this knife. And I can't imagine that I bought it. I don't, that doesn't look like something I would buy. Maybe I did, though. I don't think I did, though. I think they're just sending it to me. Maybe I sent an email to them about maybe checking out one of their knives. I don't know. But I'm getting one of these somehow. I got tracking info, and I'm pretty good at knowing what knives I buy and which ones I don't. And so I don't know. Maybe I did. I might have problems, like Michael said, that he deleted. I don't know why you deleted it, because I definitely do have issues. Yeah, there it is. I don't know. Guess we'll check it out. But today, I definitely get my 2 Monterey Bay knives delivered. So we're going to be able to see those tomorrow. And that includes the big 4-inch blade, whatever it's called. I still can't remember the name of it. The pincher. I don't know why I can't remember. Doberman pincher. Remember Monterey Bay. There's a Doberman sitting out in Morro Bay by the rock in California. So now I remember the Doberman pincher sitting on top of that Morro Bay rock. I won't ever forget the name of this knife again. Called the pincher. Oh no, I know, Michael. I knew you weren't insulting me. You're welcome to rib me as much as you want. I get that we all have sense of humors here. And I hope y'all understand the same, that I'm never trying to be anything but a little funny and a little bit honest. Which are never bad things to be. Yeah, Mitchell, that wouldn't surprise me, because they usually measure from the front of the scales to the tip of the blade. A lot of manufacturers measure right down this line, and so that might almost be from here to that line. It might, yeah, and they might have measured it back, I don't know, whatever. They call it 4 inches, but yeah. It's probably like 3.75 to the middle back here, and then 3.5 at cutting edge. But that's still plenty big. And then I can't wait to get a Rosalinda. I think the Rosalinda might be one of the first ones that we do laser pattern on with my laser. We might practice some of my patterns on the Rosalinda, because it's a good flat surface. And it would look great with a nice laser pattern. I've actually seen some. And even the back is, I could do laser along the back. Like, it's all good and flat. So I think we might do our first laser project on the Rosalinda. I'm about to just throw a knife in there and see how it goes. And I might do the... this might actually be the first one we do. The the one that I anodized, Ontario, because it's a $31 knife that I got. So if I ruin it, and I'm going to laser the inside of the scales first to practice, and then we're going to laser the outside of them. But we're going to have 4 different sides that we can practice on. But this one's super flat too. So I'm going to probably either this one, but I think the Rosalinda is the one I want. After I do this one and test a couple times, then I want to do the Rosalinda and get it right. So that'll be fun and coming up soon. About to have the workstation set up over here where we can do some laser and 3D stuff on video. And I cannot wait to actually get a 3D printer back up and going, because I've got so many of them and I was so big into 3D printing that I should have been making us all like knife stands and super cool stuff for our knives. I should have been doing that for a long time. Since I got heavy into knives, I should have been printing all the stuff that I've shown y'all on Thingiverse that has to do with knives. But everything in here that is super cool that we can do for pocket knives, I should be making all kinds of little utility blades for us, like to try out. I should be making all kinds of prototypes. I should be making all the knife stands that they have. All the ones to hold your knives and display them. And there's guys with Etsy shops, you know, that 3D print these things. I should be making inserts for knife cases. I should be printing all that stuff. And there's some super cool stuff. Like, I really like the shape of this one to hold knives. I think that's a very cool shape to display all your folding knives on. And I can upscale these and make them any size we want. I can make them out of different materials, carbon fiber, all kinds of stuff. So yeah, I should be doing this. There's no reason I shouldn't. I have the ability, the skill, and 8 or 9 3D printers that I could have been using this whole time. I just don't have the room to set them up at the moment, but I'm going to make the room. So I'm excited about that. Excited about the laser. I got to get into it more. It's a tool that I spent a bunch of money on that I haven't used hardly at all. Made some business cards. And then I realized I couldn't work my workflow. It just was not conducive to being productive. It was taking me too long to get stuff set up and lined up right when I need a good desk surface and right there where I can just be right there with it. So now hopefully I will have that set up soon and I can make it happen. And when I want to start prototyping my first knife, why not print 100 of them until I find one I like? But anyway, can't wait till that gets going. Anyway, guys, it is Monday. I cannot believe it is less than 3 weeks till Christmas. 2.5 weeks till Christmas. We're at episode 325. We got exactly 40 days from today until we hit the year mark. Will I live that long? Can we make it? I hope. I could kill over and die any day, and that's perfectly okay. I'm not worried about that. Because I try to enjoy every day, and if it's my last one, I hope I enjoyed it. And I am overweight, and my heart is having to work extra hard, and I could stroke out at any moment. But That being said, I think I'm going to make it another 40 days. Oh, no problem, TC. I enjoyed it more than you realize, buddy. I love getting my day started this way, or finished this way, however you want to look at it. It's really it's the nightcap to me. It's the ending to my night. So I get done with this and I do a couple hours of work around the house and then I go to bed. So it's kind of like a night, it's a cherry on top for my days. And it gets y'all's day started talking about knives, and hope that's good for y'all. But anyway, guys, I think I'm going to start winding today down. We've gone an hour and 45 and 23 seconds. We'll try to get a little more done with my desk over here today. Oh, that's all good, Sever. You missed it earlier. Every day in the lives, I always talk about how Sever would like that knife. And a couple of days ago on the live, I actually talked about the exact knife that you linked in the Discord yesterday. So the giant mouse that you put in the Discord, I had just said was a Sever 7 knife a couple of days before that. So yeah, I think it's funny when you miss the streams and we're talking about you anyway. Yeah, I hope all y'all have a good start to your week. Good Monday. Mondays can be bad sometimes. Oh, I'm not worried about my weight, Michael. I need to lose some weight, but I'm happy. I'm good. I do need to lose some weight to live another 30 years, but to live another 40 days, I think I'm all right. And maybe even to live another 10 years. I probably could be all right for another 10 with this weight. But I do need to get a little healthier the older I get. It's got to be hard on my body. When I was younger, I always thought, you know, being a little bigger wasn't as tough on my body. But now that I'm 52, I need to start looking at my health a little better. And I know I could get jacked if I wanted to. I've been that way before, but just get complacent and lazy and start eating bad. But I'm definitely a firm believer in if we can eat our way into it, we can eat our way out. I have a lot of faith in the human body, and I think I don't have a lot of faith in modern medicine. And I would much rather, I need to be taking high blood pressure medicine, but I don't. Because I figured back in the old days before they had all that, people lived just fine. They figured out how to fix themselves. If they ate their way in, they ate their way out and got healthy again. But I would much rather do that than get one kind of medication that leads to 5 other side effects that you need 2 other medicines to counteract. And then those give you side effects that you can't take a medicine to counteract. So I would rather just live without modern medicine, honestly. I'm one of those types that, you know, I don't want to be hooked up and kept alive. It's my time, it's my time. And I try to think back about the old times when people had to do without all that, and they were just fine. You know, they ate much more natural foods and less GMOs and all that stuff. So it's kind of hard on the food we're given today to be anywhere close to as healthy as they used to be. But it's possible, especially if you grow your own. Try to get some heirloom seeds that don't have GMOs in them. And anyway, I've talked everybody out of here. Only a few of y'all left. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. See y'all tomorrow.